once again highlighting how completely and utterly icky that their relationship is. They knew each other for 48 hours, decided that the other was hot, and Gabe decided to be creepy as F all about the entire thing, to stalk Chani through her blog. This isn't cute or romantic, this is deranged. It's been 10 freaking years. Get over it. Hello and welcome to Comprehension Points Video Snark. If you came here because you thought that this was an audiobook, please stick around and maybe learn some reading and listening comprehension skills. I read books and discuss what went wrong and how they can possibly be fixed. I'm continuing my read-through of Funny You Should Ask by Elissa Sussman. Not the first video, go check out the others, links are posted below. Bonus Chapter 19. This is an interview with Gabe about his upcoming role in A Raisin in the Sun. He says that he knows that a lot of people would come simply to see if he'll mess up his lines or get his stage directions mixed up, but he says that he doesn't care so long as people actually come. Gabe also says that his date for the premiere is his mom and that Jacinda will be with him in spirit. I feel like a broken record, and I'm really sorry for constantly saying the same thing over and over with this book, but it's true. And this book itself keeps repeating stuff over and over, so what am I supposed to do? But there is literally no reason for this. Not after we'd already experienced the premiere of A Raisin in the Sun with Gabe playing Carl Linder. Not even a chapter earlier. Chapter 18. This trip has a distinct third wheel vibe, but the truth is I'm not entirely sure if I'm the third wheel or if Ollie is. Do you remember when Chani got to the private airship and Ollie greeted them by saying that he wasn't gonna third wheel on Gabe and Chani's trip to Montana? How innocent we all were for believing that. Ollie gives me a hug. If he's disappointed that he's lost the battle for Gabe's attention, he doesn't show it. If anything, he looks positively gleeful. Why exactly is Ollie here other than to be a thorn in everybody's side? Anyway, so we skip over to them leaving. At this point, I have to give the author some props for not forcing us to endure a tedious dinner with them. What do you mean that she's not going to describe them chewing? As they leave, Gabe is like, I'm tired, man, so Ollie finally goes off to do his own thing. Alone in Gabe's car, he gives her the choice to stay with him or to check into a hotel. Chani expresses that it's probably not a good idea for her to stay with him, but he's like, in for a penny, you're already in Montana, babe. In his apartment, we're finally reunited with his dog from 10 years ago. A lot of reviewers express a lot of upset about this. The dog died. Psych, she's right there. Which I don't get. It's not even that big of a deal. The entire thing takes up less than a page. I'm not saying that those people don't have a right to their feelings, but it honestly seems a little weird to be that upset over it. Gabe goes to put Chani's things into the guest room, and Chani looks around the apartment. Chani gets kind of upset looking at a photo of Gabe's brother-in-law who died a few years ago. There's also photos of Gabe and his sister from when they were little. She goes into the other room where there's a half-finished jigsaw puzzle on the table. Gabe says that it's part of his recovery. Chani's like, you start from the outside and work your way in, and Gabe says this because she's a huge fan of her work. I'd like to pause yet again to say, that's how most people do freaking jigsaw puzzles. This isn't some super secret technique that Chani invented. Chani then finally bothers to ask why she's in Montana. She complains that he never once called her during the past 10 freaking years. He insists that it was because she was married, which, despite what People magazine might say, he's not a homewrecker, which is great and all, but literally none of that explains whatever happened during the Raisin in the Sun premiere. She tells him that she's been separated for 2 years but divorced for 1. He laughs because his information about her is only coming from what she's blogging about, and she only wrote about her divorce last month. That her blog post was literally the only reason why he decided to reach out now. Once again, highlighting how completely and utterly icky that their relationship is. They knew each other for 48 hours, decided that the other was hot, and Gabe decided to be creepy as F all about the entire thing, to stalk Chani through her blog. This isn't cute or romantic, this is deranged. It's been 10 freaking years. Get over it. He asks if she's happy and then says, I could make you happy, which... Bonus Chapter 20. Today's article is the breaking news of Jacinda's and Gabe's impending divorce, or as the article calls them, Gabe-cinda. Insert my usual spiel of how literally none of this is news to the readers at this point. We were told of their divorce in the prologue. We're now slowly counting down to the end of this novel, yet for some reason we have to rehash this right now. Anyway, the reporter comments on how a lot of people saw it coming, that Jacinda hadn't been seen publicly with Gabe for quite some time now, and that when he checked himself into rehab again, a lot of people were making bets on when the divorce would be announced. However, there were still a few hopeful people who were rooting for them, but as the readers already know, it is clear that whatever spark had them rushing off to Vegas all those years ago has finally gone out. This next section is Sunday, and to my immense surprise, yay, we're getting another bonus chapter, which means that the next video is going to start off with another regular chapter again. It's the little things that make me happy, you know? Bonus chapter 21. You can probably already guess what this bonus chapter is about, which is yet another installment of Channy's award-winning article about Gabe. However, to the surprise of literally nobody, the article snippet starts off by once again talking about Channy's experiences. It has literally nothing to do with Gabe, except that he texted her the next morning to make sure that she was okay. How the hell does this have anything to do with Gabe at all? Anyway, Channy woke up the next morning after her night out with Ollie and Gabe, hungover as hell. She gets a bunch of texts from Gabe being all like, stay hydrated, and then inviting her to a party that night. She vows that she isn't going to drink at this party. Because this is Channy's interview with Gabe, we skip over to the actual party at this point. She's playing some kind of game called Running Pyramid. I have no idea what this is, and Channy's piss poor attempt to actually explain it to the readers is, well, for somebody who got a publishing deal from writing this, she sure is really, really bad at actually explaining anything to us, or getting to the point, but I feel like that's a whole other issue. So Gabe and Ollie and Channy and a fashion designer who have never been mentioned once until now play this drinking game, and despite Channy telling herself that she wasn't going to drink, she was convinced that the game would be easier to play if she had some alcohol in her system. She said that it didn't, and then she passed out on Gabe's dog bed. She woke up hours later, stumbled out to Gabe's living room where he was watching TV. He told her that the only reason why she went to the bed was because drunk Channy thought that the other team was cheating, which, yes, it makes zero sense, but drunk people be like that, so whatever. Gabe then offers her some popcorn and they nerd out over Star Trek Next Gen together before they both go to bed. They're separate beds because for some reason Channy didn't hop into a cab and go to her own home. At least in the second installment of this dumpster fire event interview, she was doing the red carpet thing and told the readers about that experience, the every woman kind of thing. I'd like to remind you that this interview is supposed to be helping to convince the public to go watch the new James Bond movie, and 2/3 of this has been showing Channy making a fool of herself over and over. Thanks for listening to my book Snark on YouTube. New videos are up every Monday, but stick around because I sometimes drop random videos on other days too. Just as a reminder, even if you can't financially support me, there are other ways to help me out. The first is watching this video as well as all my other videos. It's also important to like and subscribe. Finally, you can share this video with all of your friends so that they can help as well. If you're already caught up with all my videos, you can go to Tumblr for my main book Snarks, always free and updated every morning. And if you've already read all of my main Snarks, then you can find even more Snark on my Patreon. You can access it for $1 a month. Members also get early access to my main Tumblr Snark. Special thanks to Dawn, Phoebe, and Nikki for supporting me on Patreon already. If you want to hear your name in my video next week, either support me on Patreon or make a one-time donation. Do you like my Snark so much that you want me to Snark your rating? I do that too. For just $6 per chapter, I will tell you how awful that your rating is. But not to worry if you feel like you couldn't take the criticism. I also offer regular book editing as well, just $10 per chapter. You can contact me on any of my social media platforms if you have further questions. If you want to read some of the things that I've written, you can purchase my works on Amazon. I have a slew of erotic short stories and 2 full-length novels. I also frequently run flash sales on my stories, and if you don't follow me on any social media, you might want to do so just so you can know when I might be offering things for free. Links for everything will be posted below. See you next week, guys.